Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I hope we're all doing okay. So before we're getting into this video, I just wanted to point out that I've looked at the stats and I've only seen about 30% of the people that watch these videos have actually subscribed to my channel. So obviously, it's a new channel. I'm trying to push as much content out there as possible, get this channel to grow, make it as good as we possibly can. So if you could help me, support me as much as you can, hit that subscribe button. That would mean a lot, guys. Get this channel going, bigger and better things coming in the future. So on to today's video, I'm going to be talking about battling with acne. So this is something I'm sure a lot of young people have experienced at some point in their life, whether that be 14, 15, maybe a bit older, as I experienced it around 18 and 19 year olds when it hit me really bad. So it did really affect my life severely, and I just hated my skin. I hated how I looked, and I'm sure people have experienced a similar problem with their life, or they've had a similar insecurity that has really affected them, especially when it came to social situations. I did start to get acne maybe when I was around 14, 15 years old, but it never really got to a stage where I was like, it really bothered me till I was around 18, 19. I was like looking at myself in the mirror. I just didn't like my skin. I really hated it. I had it like all over. I had it like on my back and chest, and I think when I started hitting the gym too, it seemed to make it worse. When it ever came to like a social situation, like going to a party or going somewhere that's quite a public place where there'd be quite a lot of people out, I just didn't want to be there. I was just so self-conscious of how of my appearance, and I think quite justified, really. I think a lot of people have felt this in if they've had a similar situation to this when they've had bad acne or skin problems. They're just like, yeah, it's kind of something you can't really hide too much. And it did affect me, and I'm sure a lot of teenagers will probably be able to relate to this type of thing. There was just no hiding it, and there was no point in me kind of like trying to pretend it wasn't there. It was so obvious. And when you're like a young person, you want to attract women, you want to make as many friends as possible, and having such bad skin and just being conscious of it all the time was just like something that put me down. So I was like, after when I got to about 18, 19 year old, when it got quite bad for me, I was like, okay, I need to like seek some attention now. Like, this is not going away like I thought it would. I'd like speak to people like, is this normal? They'd be like, oh yeah, it's just like an age thing. I was like, I don't think it is. Like, I'd be like 18, 19 years old, and I'd be like still having it quite bad, worse than I've ever had it before. Everyone around my age was like, their skin was completely clear. They had it bad like 14. I was like, nah, this is like not nice. Like, I've had it for years. I was doing a lot of like these like skincare routines, these bullshit products that I was using. I was like, they just weren't working at all. It's really hard to kind of tell when it comes to skincare products what actually works for you, because everyone's got different types of skin, which I've learned quite a lot about. And just nothing was working. And they first prescribed me like some tablets, which were, I don't think they were very strong, and I could like, it started to clear up a little bit, but like I could still notice it a lot, and I didn't want my skin to look like this forever. I could really notice it now. Like, I could really still notice it. So I had 2, 3. The doctor just kept prescribing me like the same thing over and over again, or like a different one with like a different name, but it looked the same, and I'm pretty sure it just did the same thing. My skin looked the same, whatever I really took, and nothing was really working. So I I rang him up. I was like, this is not working. Like, I need to try something else. He was like, oh, well, we could get you in touch with like a dermatologist. I could recommend you to that. I was like, yeah, I think I need to. And like, I spoke to him on the phone again after the next time it didn't work. He was like, oh, what do you want to do? I was like, well, I want a dermatologist now. Like, this shit is not working. So many people I spoke to had dermatologists. I didn't really understand why it took kind of so long for me to get to this stage. It was clear these like shitty tablets, whatever they were, placebos or something, were just not working whatsoever. He could see this. He just wasn't prescribing me anything. So I was like, I need to see a dermatologist now. It's just not changing anything, and it's just really affecting me. So yeah, he eventually, like begrudgingly, I don't know why they're like this in the UK, but when it comes to anything that's not like life threatening, they just don't seem to give a fuck really about you. I just don't really had a great relationship with the NHS in the UK. I don't think they're as good as a lot of people make out. Yeah, when it's come to just every time I've been, when I've like noticed something wrong, they're just like, oh no, go away. It just hasn't really, but yeah, I guess that's just how it is. I understand it's free, and if you want something done, you're far better off going privately. But anyway, enough going on that rant about the NHS. But so yeah, I eventually began to see a dermatologist, and I think it took me about 6 months or so before I even like had a consultation with them. And then I got one, and then I had to wait maybe another month, I think probably about 2 months before I was prescribed my first medication. Got this, and yeah, like it was crazy how fast my skin did change. There was obviously some side effects with this medication that I was now on. My lips got so dry, my skin really dried up for the first month or so while I adapted, and then I changed the dosage of the amount I was taking. It started off with 1, then it got to 2, then it got to like 3 tablets, and then my skin had to adapt every single time. But yeah, honestly, as much as like it was such a long process and stuff, I'm like ever so grateful that I had this medication, which I got, obviously I think it was about last summer I only started it. Still on it now, but hopefully should be coming off it sometime soon, because as you can probably see, my skin is looking very, very clear now. I don't get spots at all. It's pretty crazy how these little tablets work. I'm not too sure how much of it's like what's actually in them, if it's just is a placebo, because I've been told, like, she was like, this is going to completely clear your skin, you're going to have good skin after this. I don't know if I just believe this or there's something, actually there must be something, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it really has just transformed my confidence and my skin completely. I'm so much more confident when I'm in like public situations. Like, it was something that held me back for like a year and a half. I could like tell, like, once this like cleared up, it would make me feel so much more confident when I go out. I was like, it's just kind of, there was just like spots everywhere, and it would just be frustrating because I'd be trying all these products and paying money for them, and like spending time just doing it every single night because I was like so determined to get better skin, and none of this shit was working. And I'm sure a lot of people that have had problems like this have tried all these products, and they just weren't working, and it just makes you insecure, really. There's not really like any hiding it and just saying, oh, like, just get on with it. Like, it does affect you, and other people see you differently, especially when it comes to like women and stuff. They're not going to be as attracted to you when you've got like spots and like pus coming out your face all the time. Like, it's just the truth of the reality, guys. Like, there's no point in pretending it and be like, oh no, I love you the way you are. Nah, it makes a big difference. I wouldn't be attracted to like a girl who had spots everywhere. It's just how it is, guys. And yeah, I'm sure if you've been in this situation, you can probably understand how big of a deal it is and how much it does like affect your life as a young man, young woman, just growing up, and you have all this shit just on your face, and it's just, especially as you get older, because it was kind of seen as like, yeah, that's something you get, you're 14, 15, but you're getting a bit older, 19, you're like 20, I'm like, what is this? But yeah, this is kind of my experience with my acne. It's something that did bother me for such a long time, and I'm sure anyone that's had it quite severe and tried to find a solution has kind of felt the exact same as me. I wish I could give you like a method to just be like dealing with it, but honestly, for me anyway, there wasn't really. Like, even at some points I'd like borrow some of my sister's makeup because it was just affecting me so much. I'd be like, if I was going like out to like a club or something, I had a really bad day with my skin, I'd be like, I can't go out like this, I need to like put some foundation on, just something to cover it up. I was like, I don't give a fuck if like people could tell. Like, I would much prefer to have that than just like spots like oozing out. It's just, yeah, it really did like affect me, and I'm sure especially for younger men, because you can't just cover it up all the time, unless you buy like loads of makeup, it's going to affect you kind of in a similar way. And I'm sure you've probably been prescribed like tablets and stuff that just don't do anything, and I think the only way you can really go about is by like getting a dermatologist and getting prescribed these actual tablets that do actually make your skin better. It might be a long time if you're going through like public NHS and all of this thing that I had to go through. Like, took me probably like a year, well, 2 years probably in total, from the start when I was prescribed these tablets that weren't doing anything till when I actually got a consultation with a dermatologist. So it's a very long process. So if you could go private, I definitely would recommend doing this. Obviously, I know a lot of people will be a lot younger, similar age to me, probably younger too, so they're unlikely to have the resources to go privately. I'm sure you'll get dealt with like a lot quicker, and they'll probably be a lot better off. They'll be a lot better with you. So if you could, I definitely would recommend that. But yeah, I hope this has kind of helped people. Maybe like relate to me. Obviously, quite a personal story for me. Something that I've kind of not really spoke about too much to anyone, but something that does affect a lot of young people out there. So I'd be interested to kind of know what your stories are with, if you've had acne before, and how you kind of dealt with it. It might help some other people, because honestly I do think it's very difficult to kind of manage without like seeing a dermatologist. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, guys. So like I say, if I could get you to subscribe to this channel, we're only getting about 30% of the views of people who are actually subscribed to this channel. It would help a lot. I'm really trying with this channel to make it grow. If you could like comment anything you want me to talk about in future videos, share the videos to as many people as you know, it would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. So take care, guys. Peace.